Here at InTalksicated Reviews, we intellectually dissect the art of cinema, scene by scene. Here's some clips.
All he is, it's just a fucking big wooden doll full of cum, chasing kids around.
You look up guys who poop in a bag. Because I think that's where you'll find him. Because he is hurt.
It's probably just in your search history anyway, isn't it?
This movie fucking blows.
So don't forget to subscribe to Intoxicated Reviews on all places you find podcasts. Except Spotify. We're working on it.
Boys Club. Is it called Boys Club because my apartment looks like a boy lives in it?
I wouldn't say a boy lives in it. I would say a boy is kidnapped somewhere in here.
Boys Club.
We're everything. We're true crime. We're World Star Hip Hop.
World Star Hip Hop. We're Netflix reviews.
Stories of the day.
Boys Club.
Listen.
Yeah, do it. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. I think. No, we're not. And on Google Play. Nobody gives a shit.
Boys Club.
Boys Club Podcast. Now with 90% more sound clips of black people.
Boys Club.
Touch me, and I'll sue.
Hi there, this is T. Johnny with Quirky and or Queer, a podcast about otherness. Join me as I interview people in the community. I talk to musicians, community workers, artists, comedians, and even my mother about otherness. How does it shape their careers, their romantic pursuits, creative projects, and shape their overall worldview? There are lots of laughs, plenty of tender moments, and some deep conversations. Find Quirky and or Queer on your favorite podcast app.
Do not take product if you are hypersensitive.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Intoxicated Podcast in the sky. We're in the sky! I'm here with two very special people. Miss Frost Keplar? Keplar. I was trying to say it before you came over. I'm like, I need to get this right. Keplar. Okay, it's easy. Frost Keplar. And my best friend, Danielle is my co-host for this episode.
That's right.
I thought it would be cool to get like friends and like returning guests to do co-host episodes.
I like that idea. It's cool.
Yeah, like if there's like, I thought you would like Frost, so I'm like, I gotta pair these two up. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a mystical episode here today. So welcome to the podcast. You're finally on. Yeah. We talked about you coming on for a while, actually. Like a while ago, you expressed interest, right? And then I was like, bitch, we doing it now. We doing it. We do not want to know about these face readings that you do. I'm very, very curious and excited. So thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
This is great. It is such a nice day today. So thank you for coming into the Sad Girl Pad and hanging out inside, despite how beautiful it is outside today.
Well, the sun's going to set anyways. So.
Yeah.
The sun's going to set. It's going to get dark. I actually really like these purple clouds.
They suit you. So.
Yeah, I think. Do you like them, Frost? I was trying to pick something mystical and different.
Purple is my favorite color.
Is it seriously?
Yeah, I have purple sneakers.
Oh, wow. Shit, yes.
Yeah.
Has it always been your favorite?
It actually has, yeah, ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was lucky to have purple socks, sweatpants, sweater, underwear, everything. Just underwear went on my head, obviously.
As it does.
As it always does. I always think about like favorite colors because mine changes. I used to be like, I think I am still a purple person, but I wear a lot of blue, and blue, like, if I could pick a color to wear for the rest of my life, it'd be blue, not purple, oddly enough.
Yeah.
But like, what's like, I don't even think I know your favorite color.
We're
best friends.
Color.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm into the monochrome too.
Clear. My favorite color is clear.
Yeah.
I always hate those people who say that. I'm like, fuck off. That's not a color. Although black, I think. I wear a lot of black.
Yeah, ditto. I wear a lot of black.
I think I could probably pass as a goth person, like, most days. And just, like, walking out, like, black coat, black pants, you know, black everything. So,
yeah.
I enjoy the black. But we are also drinking some cider. We are drinking Bulwark. Bulwark? Am I saying that right? I feel I feel like it's bulwark. Yeah, that makes sense. Because you suggested cider. I asked you what you were into, and you're like, spicy cider. And I was like, well, I don't know if this is spicy, but I know it's cider.
I think
So
the
here we
best
are.
thing is just wine.
Oh, you're wine gal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. What
Like
kind?
an old
Red or white?
soul, you know? Red wine.
Red. Yeah. The older I get, the more I appreciate the red wine.
Yeah.
White wine I used to drink a lot, like way too much of.
Yeah,
like
you did.
in university days. Like bottles upon bottles of like cheap $10 white
Like
wine.
Baby Duck or something.
Blue Nun
Okay.
was a
Cool.
huge one. If it was in a blue bottle in the
forgot
German
about that.
section, that was my go-to. It had to be under. It had to be $10
Yeah.
in a blue bottle from Germany. Usually a Riesling or Riesling. Riesling.
I don't know. I
I
have
don't
no
know.
idea.
Fuck off.
I don't
wine
drink
snobs.
wine. I'm not a fan. I wish I was. Like, I've tried. Like, I've bought, like, bottles, boxes, everything, and it's like, I can't get into it.
I wouldn't say I'm into it for sure, but
It's just like
if I had
easy.
to pick, yeah.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to drink. It's an
Yeah.
easy thing to carry with you too, like if you're going to a party
Yeah,
or
that's true,
something.
too.
Because I always think about that. I'm like, with vodka, it's difficult because like you have to bring mix with you,
Yeah.
or you could just drink it straight.
Yeah, just drink it straight.
But I don't like that.
No.
I'm not into it. And Danielle, you're drinking leftover gin this Dan Hendricken brought like back in January. Thank you,
It's
Dan.
actually really good. I
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Gin twist because you like gin.
I do. I like gin a lot, so this is really good.
That works out. We are drinking on this podcast. But Frost, lovely Frost, you are a comedian here in Halifax.
I am.
Yeah. How long have you been doing comedy?
A year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Bitchin'. And what made you like? Well, actually, let's go back to the very beginning. Where are you from? Where do you hail from?
I'm from Prince Edward Island.
You're from
actually.
PEI?
wow.
I didn't know that.
It's a little known fact about me. I was actually born in Charlottetown.
Oh, wow.
Oh shit! I was not expecting
I feel like
PEI.
you're like the first person I've ever met from PEI, which is like
Really?
sad. No, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm trying to think of it, and I'm like, I don't think I know anyone from PEI. And I don't know what that says about me, but like, I don't know. I just haven't met anyone from PEI.
It's weird.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you a couple actually. Dan Hendricken is Dan? Yeah,
Oh,
Dan's
is it?
from
Okay, so
PEI.
I know
Dan.
Yes, okay, yeah.
And comedian Brittany Campbell, who I just had on, also from PEI.
Oh, cool.
It's like
Yeah.
a PEI-centric couple weeks on Intoxicated here.
That's awesome.
Right.
I
I
like it.
moved when I was 2. So.
Oh, okay. So you
Oh,
weren't.
okay.
That's where you were born, but okay,
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah, we grew up in the suburbs. So. Spryfield, and then Timberley, and then another spot in Timberley, and then my mom took off to Alberta when I was like about 19, and I went with her till I was 23, and then I came back here because I love Halifax.
Yeah.
It's better than
I
Alberta,
love
right?
it. Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't have all those yuppies taking over.
So did you spent a large chunk of your life in Alberta then? Did you?
Only a couple of years.
Oh, only a couple of years. Okay. Okay. So you moved around. Actually, that's crazy. Danielle's moved around too.
Yeah, I'm around quite a bit.
I didn't even get
It's
that
an
connection.
experience you kind of need.
Yeah, and I totally agree, and I think it's like very much character building, like when you move around a lot. So
That's
yeah.
Because like, do you get? I know Danielle gets it. Like when people are like, "Where are you from?" and you kind of like, you're like,
Yeah, you hesitate.
"Where do I say this time?"
Yeah.
Because like you have multiple homes at various points in your life, kind of thing.
I find that question when I ask it offends people.
Really? When you ask other people where they're from?
Yeah, they're like, here. I grew up here. Okay.
Why would anyone get offended by that? That's like ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, why?
2019.
Yeah, exactly.
People who aren't white presenting. And
Oh yeah.
it's not like I
suppose,
find
yeah.
them and then ask them that. It's
Oh,
just-
actually, yeah, you make a good point. And yeah, that sucks. Because, like, for me, it's like, it's just a genuine interest. Like,
Yeah.
because I feel like I like hearing people's origins.
Yeah, same here.
Like, how they came to be.
Yeah.
And that's why I always ask.
City, the country.
Exactly.
Yeah. City, country, like, what, like, yeah, were you, because I grew up in the country. A lot of people might not wouldn't have thought that about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, I was a country girl. Well, I mean, kind of
Hobby
country.
farm or like
No,
your
not
neighbors
even.
were 5 kilometers away.
We were 10 minutes from town. Or actually less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like a 7-minute
But
drive.
you had like a really nice like wooded area behind her house. Like,
Yeah.
it was good for walking paths. There was like marshes and
Yeah.
ponds and things like that. So
Yeah, it sounds just like my mom's house.
yeah.
Yeah,
I loved it.
It was cool because we had close neighbors, but like we had space.
It wasn't
to
like
run
you guys were
around.
like suffocating on like with like on each other. It was like there was lots of room to like grow, I guess.
Which is legit. And and if I'm ever at a point where I want to raise a family, I would want to move somewhere kind of in the woods a little bit. Because I think, I mean, but that said, like, okay, how old are you? I actually don't know how old you are.
I was born in 1992, so I'm 26.
You're 26? You young and little baby. I actually think I knew you were in your 20s. I just wasn't sure how old. Okay, 26. Bitchin'. How are you liking 26?
Just trying to make it to 27.
Good answer.
Hanging on.
It's a very good idea. Like, that's all of our plans.
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
Like, can we just make it another year?
Yeah. I feel like I'm kind of over the birthday thing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
how old am I turning again? Oh, shit.
I think you're still, like, I feel like after 25, birthdays start going downhill.
Yeah.
Really? I liked my 32 birthday, but I hated 30. 30 was like...
What did you do for your 30th?
We just went out for dinner and drinks, and it was like... Something about that number, I was like crying all night.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
At 32,
Well,
I was like, this is fun. Like, I'm like, I feel like I'm just getting into loving myself more, and I think that's part of it. It's like,
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's why it was like a better.
well, I think there's so much on the number 30.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure because it's like it's a big. Exactly, I always don't know. So
Yeah. Which is very unfortunate, but that's also something that like society is like putting on us, and really like if we're smart enough, we'll not let it affect us. And continue to like love ourselves. But I get it. Like I'm the same way, but I'm like that with every birthday.
Yeah,
I'm like I don't like aging at all.
No.
I would rather reverse time.
Yeah.
I would rather go because 25 was my favorite year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I hear, and like maybe you guys know about this, but I hear that there's this thing called like the return of Saturn, where it's like in your late 20s, your life's gonna be a shit show. I'm sorry. But also, I think all of life is a shit show. So really, like for people who have been through shit, Return of Saturn, whatever, bring it on. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
It's a peaceful Saturn return.
yes.
I'll cheers to that.
Would you say you're over yours, Danielle, or do you think it has yet to happen?
I went to like an astrologer like not that long ago, and she was like, "You're in a 1 year," and I was like, "That sounds good." And she was like talking. I don't know if you know much about astrology.
You're in a 1 year? What does that
so
mean?
It's like a lot of like starting new things, and it's like a really good time to like start new projects and things like that, or like new jobs and stuff.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's like that sounds promising. So
That's interesting that you went to an astrologer because that's numerology.
she did both. She did
Okay.
Oh, is astrology is the same thing or like similar?
No,
It's based on your birthday. They're both based on your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
the only similarity.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. All right. Yeah.
But yeah, she focused. It was mostly astrology, but she also brought in numerology like aspects to it as well. So
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
And what's your star sign?
My star sign.
Uh-oh. She's smiling before she says it.
Oh, I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh, okay.
So,
Vision.
I am a Pisces moon.
Ooh, I'm a
cool.
Pisces.
I will disclose that much because I love my Pisces side.
Yeah.
I'm a Pisces, and so is
Yeah, so
Danielle.
am I.
You're in a Pisces
Yeah.
sandwich right now.
yeah,
Great.
And we're both-
we're like sun
Pisces.
signs. Yeah.
Water signs. We're all just gonna cry. You're a Pisces moon, so that's like
You're like more emotional.
you love like a
Subconsciously,
Pisces.
Yeah.
Well, I have a fire sign and a water sign, so it's like steam building up inside of me. But
Oh.
yeah, I used to think I had a problem with self-esteem.
Ooh, can we talk about self-esteem? That's a good subject to talk about.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it something that, like, I know that for me, I've always struggled with it, and it's almost like a daily, like, battle. Like, to just be like, don't negative self-talk yourself. Don't negative self-talk yourself. And I started doing this thing where when we were at Evan's for his birthday, and someone was like, nice hair, I was like, thank you!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I had to make an
Conscious
effort
yeah.
to not put myself down or not be, because I'm self-deprecating. So I feel like there's a thin line between being self-deprecating for humor and actually being like having low self-esteem. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of this weird battle for me where it's like, okay, is this self-deprecating for humor or is this like actually an attack on myself, which is like a constant struggle. So but yeah, it's been all my life, but I don't know. I mean, these people who are just confident all the time, I don't know how they do it. I'd like to know their secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would really like to say that my parents were supportive, but a lot of their praise was just like qualitative. Like, oh, you're a tough cookie. you're smart.
Right.
But then, like, when it came to me to actually do the work, I was just like, I don't even know what I'm good at. I was just so used to things being handed to me. So.
Oh.
And then I started being like, oh my God, I'm so stupid.
Oh, fuck,
That attracts more people who are going to, like, affirm that.
Yeah.
And then it becomes, like, an internalized dialogue.
Definitely.
What was your family life like growing up?
I have one brother. He's a little bit older, and we were just, like, playing games all the time. And all the kids, like, hung out at our house. We had, like, the bike and scooter club.
You're like the coolest to hang out at.
Drinking chubbies in the garage.
I forgot about those.
Oh God, that brings me back.
That does, yeah.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
Wow. So you were like you had like you hosted a lot of like the like friend get-togethers and stuff. Yeah.
And we were just like really creative kids. Like,
right.
I guess I was into crystals then, like before I even knew it, because we would take a
here.
nail and a hammer and like mine the pyrite out of the road.
Oh yeah.
Like the fool's gold in the paper.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
I have rocks from like kindergarten that I've like kept like all these years. Like I've been like collecting rocks like all along. Like it's crazy.
You love collecting rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you like to bring them back from trips, don't you?
Yeah, I took some from Mexico. Like I think that's my decision in life is like I'm gonna travel more so I can get more rocks.
Wow, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Like, inlay them into
like a table or something. Or
wow, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh. Gotta travel more.
Yeah, I know, right?
Or just go to like other places like that are like nearby, like around Nova
Yeah.
Scotia.
Yeah.
And collect them all. But like so you had a good childhood? Boring. No,
well, I don't know. I don't get bored easily.
Oh, okay.
But,
what's that like?
Not anymore.
Oh,
that was my number one complaint when I was a kid was I'm bored, and my parents were like on a schedule. Like,
oh, really?
bing,
Yeah.
bong, boom. You knew where to find them any moment of the day, and my dad was like 45 when I was born.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm with you in that my mom was 42.
Yeah, pretty old.
So it's older, yeah.
Compared to my friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was a polyester flapjack used car salesman.
Oh. Wait, what was the first word?
Polyester flapjack.
What is that?
It's like he wore those like tacky shirts, and the only thing he could cook was pancakes.
Oh, okay. Used car, like so he was literally a used car salesman.
Yeah, he owned his own place and everything.
Oh, cool. Did your mom work?
My mom was like the cleaner, accountant, bookkeeper.
Oh, okay.
She kind of did everything.
Yeah, she kept it together, and she just had odd jobs, watering plants and stuff.
Oh,
She's
cool.
Gardener. Yeah, hobby gardener. And
Yeah.
that was the best part of my childhood. Was our whole backyard was like landscaped with like a pond and a
that's
swing
awesome.
and oh my God, it was
Garden.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's really, really nice. Me and Danielle were in a class once where we got to make a pond.
In our classroom.
We grew up in the school that was environmentally friendly, and that was like the branding of the school.
Ooh, nice.
So you had to like,
Cool.
yeah, and like thinking back to it, I'm like,
It was really
at the time I
progressive.
thought it was dumb, but yeah, more schools should do shit like
we
that.
composted when like from the age of like 7 and 8 onwards, and maybe even before that. And it was like we built a pond in our grade 4 classroom, and we had tadpoles, which eventually turned into frogs, which eventually turned into like a horrifying like memory now.
Yeah, because they escaped the pond.
And kids were like killing the frogs like in school.
And we went to school one day and found just like dead frogs everywhere.
Yeah.
It was mortifying.
Yeah, it was like awful.
I still think about that.
Yeah, it was like slightly traumatic because you watch them every day, you're like around them, and then all of a sudden they're just like dead on the steps, and it's like, oh,
It's like a massacre.
yeah.
I had a pond down the road from my house that I used to go to all the time. I loved looking in the pond.
My mom, she would find frogs when she was a kid, but she would stick a straw up their butt. And,
Oh.
Oh God, that's and
then, like, inflate them.
Oh,
and
I
put
didn't know where
them
that was
down.
going.
Oh,
That makes
okay.
sense, though. Okay.
You would
Okay.
inflate them and put them down, and then she said that they would just go.
Oh, wow.
It didn't hurt them.
I don't know.
the things you do for fun.
Yeah, really
The
that.
things you do for fun in rural Maritimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Truly though, like
Yeah.
Well, my mom's always been a little bit weird.
yeah.
if we were on a trip and she saw some roadkill, she would take out the camera.
Oh, really?
She's a little bit morbid.
She should have gotten into like taxidermy or something.
Or like been like mortician or something.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Roadkill, I always get very sad when
Me
I see
too.
roadkill.
It like depresses me.
Yeah, it's never good.
Yeah, trying to picture my mom as a mortician.
Not at all.
Debbie? No.
I mean, I just don't know. Like, it's just so weird to me. Like, you think about yourself growing up, and you're like, you always think like you want to be something, right? It's weird for me to think about like a little kid being like, I want to be a mortician. Like, how does that how does that fascination come about to do something like that? No judgment. I respect people who do it. It's just interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like, because death is like so scary in my mind, anyway.
Yeah.
The idea of like working with a dead body would be.
I like considered it for a little while. And then
Really?
Yeah, I did. I like looked into it, and I was like, I wanted to do like the upfront part of it, but not like the behind the scenes. Like I'd rather work with the families and the grieving process.
You mean like the coordination of it?
Yeah, the coordination of it. But I didn't want to deal with like the actual physical embalming.
Yeah.
Because and like the course that they offered was like you had to do both, and I was like, I'm not into that. So.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
Did you have something like when you were little that you like wanted to be? Like, I know for me it was marine biologist. Uh-oh.
What is it?
Nice.
You're nodding like it's an interesting.
I just wanted to be an artist. Really.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I want to be a garbage man.
Be what you want. It's 2019.
Yeah.
Progressiveness.
Yeah. Also an artist. But I've actually been collecting pieces of garbage for about 5 years.
Oh, cool.
Like for
I
art?
like that you're merging the two together.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
miniature dump.
Me. I relate to
It's
this
a
miniature dump.
self-portrait, actually. So.
I love it.
That's funny.
Garbage man / artist.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is that like, is it something about like, do you want to like change the world? Like clean up the world?
God, no, I think I was just lazy. Like,
I love that. God, no.
I have never thought about changing the world. I've always been a nature enthusiast, so I actually love to be outside and stuff. And I just thought, oh, on the garbage truck, you get to ride on the outside. And that's dangerous.
That would be fun. Do they ride on the outside?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the back. Like on the back of it usually. Like,
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Really?
And then you jump off, grab the things and throw it in the back.
Okay. I mean, there is something to be said for a job that's, I mean, I imagine with any job, there would be things that would be unpredictable that would come up. But like, you know what you're doing every day. You have a routine.
Yeah.
You have a route. You have a,
They
there's something to be said
like,
for
there's
that.
structure, there's like, and then like you're active, you're outside, like I
Yeah.
feel for that. So
Yeah, well, you worked at Dal.
Yeah.
And you said that was one of your favorite jobs.
Yeah,
Was that?
it was.
Like
Yeah.
relaxing and just like walking around inside. Like...
Yeah, it was like litter patrol. That was the title,
there
like,
you
literal
go.
title of it. And it was like going around picking up garbage on the campus, and I was like, I actually loved that job because it was like I just got there. I never had to deal with anyone. Like I just was on my own and like picked up garbage all day.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Artist though. So do you draw, paint? Like what kind of artsy thing?
Medium.
Well, like, I do draw. I do illustrations. I made this shirt.
I love that.
It's a chicken saying, "What came first, the mind or the universe?"
I love that.
Yeah, so just
That's
cartoony
adorable.
stuff, and I'm doing comics and.
Ooh. That would be fun. You should really. Do you sell them or like, as of now, are you just kind of doing it for you?
Just
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you wonder what? I mean, it's the day and age of the internet. If you ever did want to like sell your stuff, you can. You just make an Etsy account,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I have tons of drawings, like mostly watercolors.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Again, with the laziness though, it's like, well, if it's abstract, it doesn't have to look like anything. I just really like to play with colors and textures and ink and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And you've worked a couple different, I know from your comedy, you've worked a couple different jobs in your life, one being like the driver's ed.
Yeah.
I want to know about this. So you were a driving instructor?
Yeah, for 6 months. I took like 16-year-old kids out and got them to drive.
How was that? Because I just gotta say, learning to drive and like your road test and stuff is a very pivotal part of your life.
Yeah, it is.
Especially at that age. And I failed my driver's ed test the first time, and I've never been more mortified in my life.
There are lots of tears.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
really?
smashed an
Oh,
Orbitz
sucks.
bottle. Do you remember Orbitz?
Yeah, I do.
I remember getting out of it and smashing it. You know me, I'm dramatic as shit, and nothing's changed since then. But like, I smashed the bottle on the pavement after my driver's test.
Wow.
And then I didn't build up the guts to take it again. I think it was like 2 or 3 years before I took it again because I was so mortified. Because I didn't come to a complete stop at a stop line.
Ugh.
And that's why they failed me.
Yeah. A lot of the things that you would do in public, you wouldn't do on your driving test. So it was really tricky to teach in Halifax too, because there's so many things that are so unusual.
Yeah, like one of the streets like everywhere and
Weird intersections and
hey,
stuff.
remember that book and how it said this? Just forget all about that for 5 minutes. So normally,
there's an exception to that.
I feel like I was saying that a lot. So normally, or like typically, so much of driving is like depending on other people, and then
that's true.
You're working as a team, and there's like this flow to it, and this beat that goes, and if you're not on the beat, you could really fuck somebody's day up. Like,
oh man!
And road rage is real.
Oh my god! Okay, that is so. I was driving around with Andrew Vaughn today.
This isn't okay.
And I was actually scared. Different times because he was like, there was one point where he actually stuck his head out the window and started yelling at someone. I was just like,
oh my god.
Oh, well, I mean, in all fairness, they did almost hit us. Like, it was really bad. It wasn't our fault at all. But I think it's one of those things. Like, I think the people who do stuff like that, it's just like it's an accumulation, right?
Yeah.
It's like all these little things that accumulate, and then something else happens that tips you over the edge, and you just have to yell. But they should teach like road rage management in driver's ed.
Yeah. You'd
Like-
think they would by now. Like,
Yeah, that should be a part of it.
Yeah.
How to deal with when things don't go your way when you're driving.
Yeah.
You know, like
it
in a
is
healthy
the
way.
class
oh, is it?
a
Okay,
bit.
that's cool.
Tiny bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, we actually watched a video of road rage that happened when I was living in Alberta and I was driving behind them. Like, I remembered that incident.
Oh,
It was a
shit.
big white truck and it was my exit. I could see Spruce Grove on there. I was like, holy shit. Like, this made YouTube.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Shit.
It was going on for about 25 kilometers.
So what exactly happened?
This is road rage, not on the verbal level, but like on a physical, I'm going to fuck you up kind of level.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And it was just, I didn't see the actual instigating incident, but I watched this truck like following a car and trying to run him off the road.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is terrifying. I went down a rabbit hole a couple nights ago and this is what I do to myself because it's terrible. I'll watch like compilation videos of like the worst 911 calls ever captured or like stuff like that. Yeah. And one of them was, oh god, it's so bad too. It was like a family in a car and the car mat thingy had the accelerator pushed down.
Yeah.
And they couldn't stop. So it was like real life Speed, like the movie Speed, like where like they couldn't stop. And they called 911, trying to get 911 to help them to figure out how to stop the car. And they couldn't. And they like were approaching the intersection. And they're like, hold on, you better pray. And then bam, like the whole thing, like the whole car was like totaled.
That's crazy.
And like the 911 call was on tape, and then I like borrowed I have access to a car right now. And when I went in the car, I like double checked the mat because I was like paranoid about the mat. I was like, it's just like stuff like that. So I'm like, such a fluke thing, right?
That's crazy.
Oh,
but like the idea of like being in a crisis, like I'm always wondering like how I would react in a crisis like that.
Yeah, well, it makes you kind of smarter if you don't overdo it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, a lot of people say that in crisis, there's a weird sense of calm that comes over people. And because they're in survival mode.
Yeah.
And they're just like, we just gotta figure this out.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I feel like I would probably freeze.
Yeah. Well,
You know, like, I don't know.
how much time does it take? Like, things are gonna happen anyways. So.
That's true.
I mean, I actually was in 2 car accidents.
Oh,
so
shit. Were you? Were they really bad ones?
They don't seem to care about that as long as your abstract is clean. So.
Oh, before you started working that you were?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was 16 at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, when you think about it, it's ridiculously young to be giving kids car
Really,
licenses at 16.
That is really, really young.
Yeah. Some of them were clearly like children. And it
Yeah.
was like, this is kind of messed up. You know, I know what I did in a car when I was 16. I was like, I'm breaking 9 laws at once.
Were the car accidents bad ones?
I totaled a Volvo, so that's pretty hard to do.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I'm not proud of it, but I ran into the back of a Metro Transit in Bears Lake.
Oh, no. Were you alone?
Yeah, my
that's
first
scary.
time alone, actually.
So how, like, if you, like, can I ask questions about this, or is it too, okay, I was gonna say, how did you react, like, in the moment?
I thought I was dreaming.
Oh, God.
Like, that's being in shock. Like, everything's ringing, and, like,
Wow.
you can just smell things, like, burning, and, yeah.
That's
pretty scary.
terrifying.
It was really scary. The airbag didn't go off, either.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so... I mean, I'm kind of glad it didn't. And my glasses flew off my face, and like my
Wow. That's
fucking
a lot of force.
yeah, like
Like-
it was not even that fast.
Yeah.
Because there was a red light and then there was a green light, and the bus doesn't have like a turn off or anything in Bears Lake on the one side, so it was
Right.
just
Yeah, it
like
doesn't.
Oh, my God.
running into a wall.
I
Basically,
was gonna say, like, that
which
thing
is
would
good.
move. Like, it would,
Yeah,
you would,
exactly.
yeah.
If you think about the kinetic force there, it's
Yeah.
actually better that I didn't hit somebody coming head on.
Yeah.
I always think it's a really weird fluke that I have not been in an accident yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danielle agrees because she's driven with
Yeah.
me and I've come close.
I've prevented one of those.
You did?
Yeah.
That would have been bad, too.
Yeah. It
Oh
would have been.
man.
It was like we were driving, and it was like we were coming at an intersection. I feel like it was Jubilee Road.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
Jubilee Road.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I remember it
and
well.
like, we were getting ready to go straight through because there was no stop sign.
But there was traffic.
There was traffic coming the other
So
way.
we couldn't see shit.
And like, I just like saw a glimpse of a car, and I was like, "Sarah, stop!" And like, we would have like hit head on, and they were driving at a
Yeah, it would have been like
fast
this.
speed.
It would have been
And so
like
were we, because like we didn't have stop signs, so. But
Yeah.
it was fine.
But I always think to myself, I'm like, why is it that I always come so close but nothing happens? Someone must be watching over me.
That could be.
Yeah. The parking angels.
Yeah.
The parking
exactly.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Stick with me a little longer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not I'm not a fan of driving. I'm a nervous driver. I'm like overly cautious, and I feel like being overly cautious is not good sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so true.
Yeah, because you're not reacting.
You have
gotta
to be predictable. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever like rolled in a car? That's what freaks me the fuck out.
No, me neither.
I've seen it happen. I saw a car go off the road once driving to Antigonish, and it was terrifying
Yeah.
seeing that. So let's talk about happier things.
Yeah.
So what made you get into comedy? Like what? So you're an artistic person,
Yeah. Art.
which I mean, like I think comedy is an art for sure.
Yes.
So it's a form of being artistic. But like, what made you get up and do it? Stand-up comedy is not. It's nerve-wracking as shit.
Yeah.
So like, what made you get into it? What was the push?
Well, it actually took a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah.
Like, I first started thinking about stand-up as a career choice when I was still living with my mom.
Oh, okay.
So I was renting a lot of DVDs, and one of them that I watched that really pushed me over the edge was Women in Comedy.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I've seen that one? Who was on that?
It's like Joan Rivers and Kathy Griffin.
Ah, cool.
Bunch of people, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like started writing jokes.
Yeah.
And the only one that I kept from that first batch was the one about my my gap tooth, which I don't have anymore because my
I was
parents.
gonna say, where's your gap tooth?
Yeah, I wish I had.
I have a
it,
gap
but-
tooth. But yeah.
Yeah, my parents actually got surgery to like close
Seriously?
it. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's nice though. Did you squirt water out of it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was like pretty gnarly. Like,
That'd be be fun.
Yeah, I have pretty gnarly teeth, actually. Like,
Oh, yeah. And I mean, dental work is so pricey.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm grateful. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
if
just
you have people who
abnormal
can
to
pay
have
for it
bad
or
teeth.
benefits, like, that's, I mean, fucking use them, right?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
it's so pricey. So.
Yeah. So I've always been kind of a weirdo.
That's why I like you.
Yeah. I got the
I love
laugh a
weirdos.
lot in school, but I wasn't like clowning.
Oh,
I wasn't
okay.
like joking around. I was
You
a
weren't, like, the
really
class
good
clown?
student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a class clown.
Yeah.
I really like was kind of a goody two shoes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you drink underage or do drugs underage or anything like that? Or were you, like, fairly good kid?
I was like a really good kid, but then around 16, that's when I started to like really. It was a very, very stark contrast.
Yeah.
So I was raised pretty Christian, like Baptist.
Oh.
Yeah, and then when I was 16, I stopped believing in God. And
Oh my
then
god, me
just,
Danielle, I don't know if you ever did. Ding ding.
No, I don't. Yeah. That's funny though.
I was just a little late on the update. I was like, wait a second. I was at my sister's wedding and I heard them be like, do you promise to raise kids under the Lord? And I had two thoughts. One, maybe they don't want kids, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And two, maybe they don't want to raise them Catholic. Maybe they want, like, and in that moment, I was like, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah.
And then, and then I had started hearing things about, the Catholic religion and shit. And I was like, this ain't for me. I was like the first one in my family to stop going to church. And I don't know if it's, I think I'm with you. Like, I don't know if I don't believe in God, but I just don't, Catholic is not for me.
I just don't believe. I don't consider myself Christian by any stretch, but I definitely believe in like a higher power of some sort, and I believe in like an afterlife and those sorts of things. But not like I could never follow a Christian lifestyle. Like it's just not in me to do that.
I think the thing that did it for me was like, was Jesus a Christian?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the power that is preceded religion. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
Why bother?
Yeah. I'm certainly not an atheist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it would be really sad to think that there's nothing after this. I don't know.
No.
I like to have a little bit of comfort. But did you grow up like going to church and shit, or?
Yeah, I did like the summer camp and everything.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. And then
Where
I
did you go to-
volunteered at the Bible camp. And
Where did you go to camp?
Bayside.
Where's that?
Bayside.
Is that Nova Scotia or PEI? Sorry. I don't know. I just there was one near where I grew up in like New Brunswick, so I wasn't sure if it was like the same one. Oh, okay.
Bayside.
Like an hour past Heron Cove, I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right.
And I loved it. Field games and just like mess hall.
Yeah.
It's good.
I've never gone to camp, and I feel like it's something that I missed out on.
I never went to camp either, but now I'm like I was like a camp leader over the summer, so
Yeah.
I got the experience of camp.
You like reliving
or
it.
like day camp, but not like sleepover, but like
Interesting. Fascinating. It seems like a lot of shit goes down at camp. Whenever I hear people who've gone to camp, they always have stories. Like, like they got hurt or like Corey West has a shit ton of
does
stories.
he?
Like, maybe
his
like,
toe
oh
thing?
god, the toe thing is so bad. It's so bad. Ugh. So you were writing jokes, like how long were you writing jokes for before you actually like got up and did it? That's what I'm curious about. A while, eh?
When I was like 7 or 8, I was writing plays.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because we watched a lot of Veggie Tales.
Christian.
Yeah, so I started using my Beanie Babies and writing plays.
Oh my
and-
god.
Yeah, and a lot of them had jokes like slipped in there all the time. So I just like to be doing like the radio announcements and stuff for the street hockey games and
Oh yeah.
and the best mark in school I got was drama.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
I don't know what that says about me, but
I never
Thanks.
took drama. I should
lazy.
have. Yeah. No, I don't think that says. I think that says you're just creative. You're
Yeah,
creative
exactly.
person.
Yeah, I like to move
Yeah.
around and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you like, was acting ever in your mind as something you wanted to do?
Well, I was lucky to be like chosen for a couple roles. In grade 2, we did Charlotte's Web. I was Fern, And then in grade 5 we did.
You'd be a good fern.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like looking at you right now, I'm like, you'd be a good fern.
Yeah, I got picked for that role quite a bit. Like, I don't know if you know the 12th Night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Shakespeare play.
Yeah.
I was cast B viola. So
Nice.
got to play transvestite.
Nice.
I really dug that. I was just a big tomboy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so fun. But it's not something you want to keep going with as a career. Well, I mean, I guess
Showbiz.
it is a little bit risky, I guess. Of a career
I don't know. I
choice.
keep an eye on ads and stuff.
Like auditions and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a couple sketch comedy groups that are around, so like you never know, I might just pop in for a flashback or something.
Yes, I think that'd be so fun. And so what was your first show like? Your first stand-up show?
Doing stand-up.
Yeah.
It was at Blue Apples, I think. Do you know that?
No.
It's not
Blue
there anymore,
Apples.
Was it in Halifax?
Yeah, on Blower Street.
Okay.
And it was the old Paper Chase.
Oh,
And,
okay.
Yeah. It was like heartfelt acquaintances of mine that ran it, and they tried out a comedy night, but it didn't really last.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. And it was good.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm mostly curious because I feel like there's a lot of people you meet and you're like, you should do stand-up. You should, and I always wonder what it takes for someone to actually do it. You know, like to actually get up on the stage with the mic in front of a crowd and do it. Because it's one thing to like have jokes or write jokes or like even tell your friends jokes.
Yeah.
But it's another thing to like make the decision to get up and do it.
Yeah.
I think it's a brave thing, but every comic I talk to is like, no, it's not bravery. Like it's just. But I think it takes some guts. But I think if you have a performance background, like if you've done drama,
exactly.
I think that it would become more easily to you. You know.
Yeah, it takes guts to continue.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah, ding ding. Fair enough to that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anybody can do it once.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
To really like spend 10, 12 years doing it and then be like, okay, I'm finally making some headway. Like that's an art right
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
The patience. The patience. Yeah.
Yeah.
And doing it consistently.
Yeah, something just clicks at some point where like you don't really have to say the words to be funny, but people are just waiting for the beat.
Right.
And they're with you.
They're with you. Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about just like getting everybody together, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you I was thinking about this today, like knowing that you were coming on. I was like, it's weird to me, like whenever I go through fucked up shit in my life, I always try to make a joke out of it somehow.
Yeah.
Or like turn it around into comedy. Yeah. And like, I feel like obviously a lot of comics probably feel the same because that's how we deal with life. Yeah. Laughter is a good way to deal with it. So would you say, is that something that like inspires a lot of your comedy? Like kind of just making jokes that are like the fucking fucked upness of life. Like, and all this shit that we're all going through, right? Yeah. Like,
yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because listening to other comics helped me see the light, right? Like,
yes.
I was in the dark night of the soul and I couldn't see the way out. I was just like, getting sand in my eyes all the time. But then just to hear somebody making light of it is like, oh my God.
Yeah. Because you're kind of like...
It almost makes sense.
It's a little bit of an escape, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
You know? Like...
The best way out is through.
Yeah. And but it also makes things more normal, I think, too.
Yeah.
When you hear comedians joking about certain things, even though they're probably serious and you should deal with them, at least you know you're not alone.
Definitely.
You know, like there's something to be said for that.
Oh, definitely. Like I think it like normalizes certain things and like it makes things more like relatable, I think.
Yeah, I like comics that I can relate to.
Yeah.
Like when they say something, I'm like, I've been thinking that the whole time.
Yeah. Sometimes it's also about the contrast, though. It's like,
yeah.
We're all sitting in this room and life's pretty good right now. Like we all got a drink and we're just with our friends. But then to bring up the fact that like we're all like 2 seconds away from dying. At any point, we could just forget to breathe. Like, I don't know.
That's really... Oh. Yep, I think about that a lot. I truly do, probably too much. But that's just me.
Just have an aneurysm right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that really fucking freaks me out, aneurysms.
Yeah. Totally. As somebody who's been stressed out at times in my life, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Did you know? Game of Thrones is starting tonight. The one of the lead actresses on that actually was suffering with a brain aneurysm like during the second season. Like they were like,
you could die.
You could potentially die at any time.
Yeah.
And she like kept doing the show and kept showing up for filming.
I would do the same, I think. If I was doing a cool job like that, I would be like, I'm coming in every day. Like
that's braver
like
than me. I would just like probably stay hurled in the corner. But no, like that's strength right there.
It is.
Like being able to still go do the.
And you gotta think that's like, I mean, as an actor, like, and that's like a big break to be on a show like that.
That's true.
So like, stop doing that because of something that like she might
could
die.
happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah,
why
true.
would she? Like,
that's true. Very true.
So.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take on it, anyway.
Live your life to the very fullest.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do on the show Friendship Origin Story, but I think I just introduced myself to you after a show. I think is how I met you. And then I think I came on a night. Oh yes, I saw you at Gus's one night.
Yeah.
And it was right after I got rejected by a boy. And I had posted the screenshot on my Instagram stories. And you were like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, well, I just posted a screenshot of being rejected. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And we connected over that.
I was like, wait, 7 months. That's the formula.
7 months?
Yeah.
That's kind of a long time. Is that the proper amount of time to get over someone who things didn't even start with?
Get over it, but then completely forget about getting over it. Maybe.
Fair.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair. I mean, I don't think I deal with rejection well.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Like, how do you? That's kind of my main question.
Walls.
I'm just like, yeah.
You just don't deal with it at all. Like, you don't have to deal with rejection.
I mean, I guess that could be it, but that's I'm always curious with other people, like how they deal with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can really speak about that right now. Like, I am having.
Give it to us.
I don't want to say
this
too
is
much.
Intoxicated. This is what it's about.
I don't know if I.
You don't have to name any names, but you can talk generally about a situation. I mean, name names if you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm not a maiden. I'm a mother.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
yes.
So, and I don't get to see her. So
right.
That's really the only thing is like this guy's blocking me
from
his life because I loved him.
Right.
Oh, that sucks.
And he's broken inside.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So my first jokes, actually my best jokes ever, are about that.
Which is a dark thing that like a lot of people don't understand, or maybe they haven't been through.
Definitely.
But you're using it in comedy.
Yeah.
As a way to
because
release
I can
it.
Take it and throw in an unexpected ending. It's kind of like, this is, to me, it's like what I wish had happened.
Right. Right.
But it makes people laugh because they're like, well, that's ridiculous. And then inside, I'm like, if you knew the truth, you wouldn't be laughing.
Oh, gosh.
That's what
behind the curtain.
Interesting
a
thing.
dark
But,
place.
Yeah.
but like, look at all the comedians that are so depressed or like dealing with all these like life things.
They wouldn't trade it.
And it's, I mean, there's something to be said for that too. I often wonder about that. I'm like, do comedians want to be happy? Because they wouldn't have material
Yeah.
if they were happy.
Yeah.
It's kind of a brutal thing to say, but it feels like some of the best comedy comes from pain.
Yeah.
I think the important thing is that being happy can include being sad.
Ding ding. That's actually a really good
Yeah.
point. We should all want to be
have both.
happy.
You know, you can't have both. But like, I think you need one. You need both to have. I don't even know how to say
You
it.
need both to have a well-rounded life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Beyond
think.
words.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Exactly.
Toilsome joy.
Yeah.
But I think to grow as people, we need pain.
Oh, yeah.
And we need experiences that are shitty, because you're gonna have to like look within yourself to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Whereas people who have had like I don't trust people who've had no struggles. Like when I meet someone who's had like not one struggle, I'm like, I'm not gonna take advice from you because you've never experienced a bump in the road.
Yeah.
You know? And like the people who've experienced many bumps in the road and are still here doing their best, I want to talk to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of how I see it. But I mean, that's the thing about comedy. Like, it's tricky because, you know, as an audience member, you're there and you're laughing and you're enjoying yourself, but you don't realize, like you said, the realness and darkness behind those jokes.
Yeah. It's weird because it's like you're taking enjoyment out of someone else's misery. And
Yeah.
it's something that, like, I never really thought about before, and it's like, it's kind of conflicting, like, a little bit.
It is conflicting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's weird.
How do you feel about that? But you like doing jokes about your life. Because you're choosing to do it. So a part of you, you know.
Well, I haven't looked at any statistics or anything, but, and this is going to seem really disjointed, but one time I went to an art show at Plan B, and it was all done with period blood.
Okay.
Oh, I'm fascinated.
Yeah. So clearly that was like mostly women.
Yeah.
Who did that art. And I feel like a lot of art in the fine art sense is women.
Yeah.
And then stand-up comedy is like the segment of showbiz where the men just get to like have their
exactly.
catharsis.
Uh-huh.
And it's almost feminine in that it's chaotic. You're spilling your guts.
That's
and
true.
You don't know how
in front
people
of a group
are.
of people.
Yeah, and you want them to respond from a deep part of themselves, not
Like a visceral reaction.
That's actually very true.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's the most.
It's
I'm not
such
trying to say it's girly or anything like
But
that.
it's a form of expression, and males have been taught not to express
Exactly.
themselves.
You wouldn't associate it with masculinity. Like, the aspects of comedy, like, the idea, like, what you just said, like, of spilling your guts in front of a group of people, like, typically men are supposed to keep their emotions hidden. You're not supposed to discuss it in a group setting like that. So I never really considered that before, but it's really interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I might have just ruined comedy.
Ding, ding, ding. Y'all are girly. But it's also weird because it's such a male-dominated field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Like
my favorite comic is probably George Carlin.
Okay.
Yes. It was like the unifier in our house, like growing up. Nobody got along or spent any time together, but George Carlin was a name that we all knew.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we all could name 3 jokes off the top of our heads, so it was great. And like George Carlin is definitely in touch with his feminine side.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's creating something out of observations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like...
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Because I feel like this is on the same kind of subject. What are your thoughts on... I always think about how people view women in comedy, okay? And there's always this opinion of, like, they just talk about their bodies and sex and periods and meh, 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 meh. Why is that such a fucking thing? Isn't comedy supposed to be talking about your life and your experiences, and yet women get shamed for talking about those types of things? It pisses me off. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, I don't think that should be all your comedy.
Yeah.
I think it's great when you see a woman who talks about other things.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna fucking judge a woman for like, if I were to do stand-up, it would be mostly periods and vagina, like, and sex stuff too, you know? Like, so I'm always curious as to what women think of that, because to have the courage to, like, go out there and do it despite all the criticism against it is, like, it's commendable in my mind, but I don't know.
I have, like, a couple of thoughts.
Yeah, tell me.
Because it's, like, just, like, looking at, like, mainstream media in general. Like, you look at, like, Hollywood movies. Like, blockbusters films don't typically star women characters. It's, like, you see, like, Captain Marvel and, like, the Wonder Woman, like, films that came out, like, recently. Yeah. And those were, like, the first films that made so much money that starred a woman.
Yeah.
And it's, like, that, like, I think it's, like, it's like a commentary on, like, just our view of women in society.
Yeah.
Not just comedy, but, like, everything. Like, every aspect of society, women are devalued.
It's true.
And it's, like, I think it just stems from that.
Because I feel like we could find common themes in comedy by males.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't judge them as hard as women.
No.
And so it's like this really fucked up thing, and I hate it. I don't like it.
No.
And I truly think that that's what's holding a lot of women back.
Yeah.
Because maybe they don't feel safe up there talking about those things.
Yeah.
I don't know. Geez, Sarah's getting political on me, and my feminist agenda just knocking at the door. But it's just interesting because I have had males in my life. None of them are comics, mind you, but like male, like observers of comedy, be like, "Oh, all women comics are the same, and they all talk about the same things. I'm like, find me a male comic who hasn't talked about his dick on stage, or like. Do you know what I mean? It's just frustrating to me.
I know.
But that's just my opinion. I just had to get that out.
Yeah.
But like, I'm curious as to your thoughts as like someone who's still like you're fairly new in comedy, still a year and a half, and you plan to keep going with it.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of stuff in your set that isn't about that. But like, do you ever feel that insecurity as a female comedian, or do you just not give a shit? Or are you just better than all, like, and stronger than all of us?
Yeah. Well, I've been pursuing things in my life like outside of comedy that make me kind of like a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Right.
The face reading, like just literally standing on the sidewalk with a sign and like talking to people, whatever comes up. So I feel like I was primed for just not giving a shit about that.
Because you have other things. Yeah.
Yes. But I can definitely see it from an outsider's perspective, and I'm like, there's as much diversity in the rungs of good comics as there is in any singular group, men, woman, Asian, gay, like, so there's probably a bigger gap between what's good and what's great than what's boring and what's not.
True.
Because I do find a lot of the comedy that's out there is boring.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, I think everyone's different in what they like. Me personally, I like to feel a little uncomfortable with comedy.
Yeah.
I like it to take me to a place in my mind that maybe I've never said these things out loud, but I've thought them.
You're laughing for your life.
You're laughing.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think women have a special edge, like, just because we are so used to being kind of secondary characters.
Yes, that's
like,
true. There's a lot of stories that come with that.
Yeah, and they're surprising stories because you never would have seen it coming. You're like, oh, well, she actually has a mind of her own.
Who would have thought? Yeah. What do I know? I'm just a Goyle. No. It's. Do you ever experience mansplaining? Do you ever get that?
Yeah.
How do you deal with it? Do you, like, cause like this is something I ask women in my life too. I'm just like, cause I'm constantly trying to figure out how to deal with mansplaining.
Yeah.
Like, do you call them out, or what do you do?
I'm a big fan of kill 'em with kindness, so I just find more and more ludicrous compliments to interrupt them with.
Right. I like that.
That's a good one.
When you said kill 'em with kindness, I thought you'd be like, oh my god, thank you so much for that. Like, that's what I thought. That'd be a funny way to respond.
Yeah.
I do have secrets, like, men really need to feel like a hero.
Yeah.
And that's all they're going after when they mansplain. Like, when you say, oh, it comes from a good place. I don't know that.
Yeah. That's very true.
We're on a different pace, like a different rhythm. Like, we're much more in tune with the cycles of nature naturally. So it's just like, hey, not the time to explain this.
Yeah. Very true.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, really though.
Yeah.
So face readings. I want to know all about this. So you do face readings. How did you learn this? How did you get into this? Oh, that was an accidental ding. But ding ding for face reading.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by this. What made you get into it?
I studied psychosomatic therapy. So if anybody wants to look that up, it's on the bottom.
Can you give us a brief explanation as to what that is?
Pretty simply, it's referring to the mind and the body. Soma is an ancient word for body. So it's just your house of consciousness is the body-mind as one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So your thoughts trickle into your feelings, which trickle into your belief systems and your behaviors, and then that influences your thoughts again. So there's always this feedback happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that when people say that you can think symptoms and they'll happen? Like, in other words, I think I have the flu. I think I have the flu. And then you'll start getting flu symptoms because your mind is thinking about. Is that kind of the same idea, like the connection between like the mind and the physical kind of thing?
Yeah, well, since you like the 911 stuff, you should look up psychosomatic diseases. It's a
Oh
trip.
no, am I gonna go on another YouTube train because of Frost? Oh god, I'm gonna be up till 3 a.m.
Like, there's people who have slightly traumatic events and then they're blind for no explainable reason.
Yeah.
Oh
Stuff
shit.
like that.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Or they have MS, but there's no test to prove it.
Yeah.
And they're,
Holy
you
shit.
know, wheelchair bound. But
I've heard like that, like women too can like.
Not pretend, but feel like they're pregnant.
Yeah.
And they're not even pregnant. Like
Like they think they might be pregnant, but they're not physically pregnant. But then they start getting pregnancy symptoms.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's insane.
the power of belief. Right?
Yeah.
The mind is a fucking fucked up thing. Beautiful, but fucked up, right? Or is it just fucked up? I don't know. I don't know. So how did you self-teach yourself this? Like that in itself, by the way, is a skill. Like self-teaching yourself something is a skill.
Oh, definitely.
So anyone who teaches themselves anything, I commend. How did you learn all about this? Was it the internet or books or what?
I should say I was like the third generation, so I didn't self-teach it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There was a teacher from Austria, and then moved to Australia. And he worked with inmates and stuff, and he just like found a way to get beyond language and just like really tap into their body mind through the continuum. So like gentle touch and like releasing tension and trigger points and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
interesting.
yeah, and then I learned the face reading at the 3-week intensive that I took.
Oh, you
That's
took
cool.
a course on face reading. Shit, this isn't okay. We in the big leagues.
On body mind therapy. So.
Holy shit. So what was that experience like learning that? 3 weeks.
Well, it was crazy,
Yeah.
actually. Like, I was the youngest in the group, so I got a lot from that experience of just being, like, soaking it up, you know?
Right.
I don't know.
And you picked it up and then you started offering readings. So you go downtown.
I used to be like this, you know? Like
Like kind of cagey about it?
I used to be small all the time.
Oh, okay.
Hide from myself. Like,
Yeah.
I'd have a hood and, like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So my teacher totally pointed that out, and I was like, wow, I had no idea I was so sensitive, and I didn't know why I was like this. And so,
Right. So you came out your shell a bit then.
I think so.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. So what's involved in a face reading?
People ask me that a lot. I never know what to say. It's
Yeah.
just like, your face.
This is the face I have. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't mind. It takes like 5 minutes.
should we just do one?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we do both Danielle and me? That sounds weird.
Yeah.
Going back to the orgy thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to do me first? Do me first.
Okay.
Should I get this out of the way? My hair out of the way. And look at my face. This is going to be embarrassing.
I don't know. Okay,
Do I
let's get
smile
a
or just
profile
look?
too. So just like turn your head to the side for a moment.
My hair. Fucking
Awesome.
Oh, that's
Great.
such a great double chin.
Great. Cool.
Okay.
So Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
you have a strong rectangle-shaped face with a lot of softness in the physical zone. So like this would be physical. Across the middle is your emotional zone, and then your mental zone is like the thinking.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Face. Yeah, so your thinking part of your face is super open. It's very structured. Like that strong rectangle is showing a lot of rigidity and structure, and especially with your eyebrows and the lines between your eyebrows, that shows that you really like take information and like process it with a lot of detail. And then you have like this personality that's really well-rounded.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that. Does it mean that I'm an overthinker if my forehead is huge?
I wanted to say that you have a high slope, or not slopes, but your slope starts like way up here, right? So that's like the imagination lobe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you have a really creative, vivid imagination.
I think I do.
Yeah. And your eyes are protruding a little bit, so that's like you want to know what's coming next.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel like I always want to, yeah, definitely. I'd rather know than not know.
Yes, exactly. A
Yeah.
lot of people are happy not knowing, but you
Yeah.
have a very detail-oriented face,
Mhm.
and your eyes are like this nice light blue, which is like you're collected, you're cool, you're calm.
Ooh.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, like your eyebrows are great, and that just shows that you take extra time.
Yes.
To do things. To tune into your heart.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Sometimes you're doing better than you think, probably too. Like,
I mean, I think that that's a huge thing. Yeah. I think that I'll overthink myself to death a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Danielle looked at me because she's like, that's true.
Yeah, I can see that. You mentioned your double chin. I'm not gonna say you have a double chin.
I don't.
Shape.
Yeah, I don't like my chin. I think if I were to get plastic surgery, I would like get this like cut off. I don't know. I got a gullet or something. Like there's this thing called there's this surgery. Oh, fuck, I don't know what it's called. It's some plastic surgery. Yeah. It's not that invasive, but it like gets rid of double chin essentially. Yeah. I'm like, if I was ever rich, I would do that. But
yeah, or an implant.
Yeah,
like,
chin implant.
I don't even know. But like, you see how like yours goes like
yeah.
Mine doesn't do that. Like it's very like straight. Sarah, edit this out because you might not want this on video. I'm like, I'm just not a fan. But I mean, like that's just also like I want to ask you about face reading, like. Knowing your own, sounds so weird, but like knowing your own face, like I do makeup every day. So I feel like I have this weird connection with my face.
Yeah.
Like I know the crevices and stuff like that. Is doing face reading, does that make you more confident of a person?
Well, like as somebody who's had acne for a lot of my life.
Oh gosh, girl, I
try to look at that as a psychosomatic thing, and it's really just like the little pockets of anger in me, like finding a way to come out.
Mm-hmm. I have this joke I'm working on about acne. That's like girls with acne have the worst trust issues because like your face will be clear and then like yes, and then another one. It's like I never trust it. Yeah. Danielle, do you want one? Do you want face reading?
If you don't mind.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, cool.
This is so fascinating. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Turn to Frost and look into her soul.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can leave your glasses on.
Okay, cool.
You just
Do you want me to take them off?
So I can see for
Sure.
a moment. Perfect.
Can't see anything, but yeah.
You can put them back on.
Are you cool now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Danielle, your face shape is more circle.
Okay.
See a circle, but there might even be a rectangle in the middle. Do you see that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So the oval is like long, so you have the combination of being easygoing, but also kind of idealistic and thinking through things in the mental, emotional, and physical level.
Okay.
You can be very grounded. Like your chin is like fleshy, so if you fall on your face, you're gonna
my
bounce
face will
back.
save me.
Yeah, for real.
Okay.
Like a lot of solid energy because you're just like grounded, but you're still social.
Yeah.
You're still social. You're not too. Do you have tension in your jaw?
I have like I don't know if I have TMJ or whatever it is, but like my jaw clicks. Like I can't chew gum because like it will start clicking.
Yeah.
So I just don't chew gum and stuff like that.
I'm feeling like there's probably tension. Not to like diagnose,
No,
but it's like a biting back your words.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so even though you have like really beautiful standards and stuff, you might have had some bitterness in your life that's just making you like not expect to have those standards met.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And quite like I think you're a quite beautiful person, but you have some sadness. And, yeah, and I see like it's coming from this heart being so open and generous.
Yeah.
That your natural tendency is to like reason with your emotions.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's interesting.
But you have such a nice personality. It's so honest, and you're probably good with money.
Yeah, sometimes.
You
It
might
depends.
feel like you're not being very independent.
Yeah.
You're very conscious of your money.
Yeah.
Probably more so than I am. Like,
Yeah.
like in terms of like, you know, if you go out, like you can only spend this much.
Yeah, like I try
which
to
is responsible.
limit. I
It's
try to
very
be
responsible.
with my money. But
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be pinching off your individuality a little bit.
Okay.
And I really like your eyebrows show me you're very observant. You don't mess around. Like, you just go straight to the point.
Yeah.
There's no nonsense. And, again, your eyes show me a lot of generosity. Yeah. Like, you would believe somebody's hard luck story, probably.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, your emotional expression just really lights up your face.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Luminous.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
That's
Thank you
very
both.
like that's very true. Like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of things she said.
Yeah, no, I it resonates with me, so yeah.
Yeah, that's. Do you find? Okay, question for you. Do you find some faces easier to read than other faces?
I'm glad you asked that because, like, I can see everybody just as well, but they don't always show up ready for what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I don't like pre-plan it any which way,
No.
but I can kind of just psychically
You tune
drop
into
a few
it.
things here and there.
Did you hold back with me? Don't hold back with me. I don't want you to.
Well, there's like one or two things I didn't get a chance
Okay,
to say.
say
So
it.
like, I stopped kind of at your cheekbones.
Mhm.
This is like uprising energy. You might not get your name on the building, but like you're a really important person in your career, and you're careful what you say. I know that seems like contradictory.
No, but I get it though, because I feel like you're careful when it comes to like certain things. Like you hold back sometimes, but then at the same time you're also very blunt. So it's like a very like, I get it.
I think I hold back because I have been blunt and it hasn't gone well.
Yeah.
In the past.
Yeah, you're very, like, you two are almost opposites when it comes to individuality.
Yeah.
Like, you assert your individuality, like, every chance you get. And then I think what it is that you're really careful who you talk to. Maybe not what you say, but your circle is small.
That's true.
Like what you say to like the personal deep things. I feel like you, like the thing with Sarah is I find like people like they assume because like she's so outgoing that they're like really close like with her, and not that you're not close with you, but it's like.
But
like,
they don't know what close is because they
Exactly,
probably
yeah.
haven't
They
heard
perceive
the dark
it.
caverns.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, you're like this all the time?
But I think you're right in that you can still be social and open.
But still have things closed off to people.
And still have things closed off to people.
Yeah.
And the people that I do tell those things to, I need to have trust.
Yeah.
And that is a smaller circle.
Yeah.
But I do have a lot of friends. But I think like I've always said, best friend might not be one person. It could be a tier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There could be multiple people under the best friends spectrum.
Yeah.
And they all know my dark shit. But like, maybe, yeah, I would agree with that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So another question to you about the face reading thing. And this I guess could go for anyone who does any type of reading. But do you find it easier to read yourself or others? Because, you know, some people do tarot card readings for themselves, and they might find it to be hard because they're biased.
I find it extremely hard to read myself.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's like reading other people. It's like, yeah, but it's weird though because it's like sort of like answer.
I'm interested.
Like, this is my thing. Is like I find it easier to read other people, but it's like it's harder to like relay the message in the sense of like because I'm still pretty new in that sense. Like I don't want to like say the wrong thing or like say it in a way that they're like either offended or that I misinterpreted something, like that sort of thing. So it's hard to relay the message even though it's very clear coming through. But yeah, that's my take on it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of performance anxiety. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But does that make like it like if you're like looking at yourself in the mirror?
Would I do a face reading on myself?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering about.
I look at myself in the mirror and I like know I deserve love. Like that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like, oh yeah, it brings me gratitude to have learned this skill. Like it has completely changed my life, and it's really hard, like I said, where my parents would praise me, but they would use qualifiers. It's really hard to know that, like, pretty is subjective.
Yeah.
Even when people say you're beautiful, it might not actually mean anything other than I want to put my dick in you.
Right. Oh, that's a huge thing.
Yeah. You'd say that to the same girl, like...
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I know, like, for sure. It's like, oh, well, I'm pretty because I'm brave, or I'm smart because I am curious, or whatever.
Right.
It's not a great example.
But also, like, happiness, I feel like, can make people more beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, inner sparkle, right? Like,
Yeah,
big time.
There's, like, a cheesy Instagram quote that's like, happy girls are the prettiest. I'm like, it's such, like, an Instagram quote, like a basic bitch would post. Yeah. But it's true.
No, it is true.
Yeah. I actually do truly think it's true. Like, totally you could, like, not be sleeping at all and, like still, like, but if you're having a fucking good time, like, you'll look good.
Yeah.
Because the energy shines outwards kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, I believe in spirit, right?
Yeah, I truly do, too. Yeah. Which, it's weird because with medication... And I mean, like, I don't know, like, have you ever been on, like, any, like, antidepressants or anything?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Been offered them and, like, took them with me, but just never...
You just never did it?
To, I'll say.
Because, like, I'm at a point where I'm, like, I'm like, curious about antidepressants, but I think I worry that it'll, like...
Mess with you?
Yeah. Like I won't be me.
Same.
Yeah.
I fear that. But I also would like the relief. So it's a weird conflict.
Yeah.
You'll still be filtering it through you, who you are, but there might just be less of it.
Less.
Yeah. And at a certain point in somebody's life, that might be a good thing, because it's just like, oh, this is too much to handle.
Yeah.
I already have all this stagnant emotional baggage.
Right.
And, like, life just keeps piling on more.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Fucking emotional baggage, man. It's such a thing.
Yeah.
I hate that it's a thing, but it is.
There's a point you just have to be, like, your own parent.
Yeah.
Like, even if you had
good
parents.
No, it totally makes sense. It's like, you gotta be that parent that, like, you never had, in a sense, or, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's like love languages, too. Like, you were saying about how your parents... the type of praise that they were giving you.
Yeah.
With me, it was things or money.
Yeah.
So I grew up thinking that's how you show love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the very end of the episode. We can really get into it. But, like, so when I love someone, that's how I've been conditioned to show love.
Yeah.
So buying them things.
Yeah.
Or, like...
Like, you doing, like,
promoting them.
Yeah.
Acts of service.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that. Like I give to show that I love, but, like, then I don't know how... it's just this weird thing.
Don't know how to receive?
Because I've never received it in a way that wasn't...
like, that way. Like, physical stuff.
Like money or physical items. Because we weren't a family that, like, said I love you ever. Like, I love you wasn't a thing.
That's a recent thing for my family.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Just me and my mom. I was really lucky that me and my mom actually, like, are friends now.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. We're, like, is that something that came with age, you think? Like, as you got older? Like, yeah.
I mean, her life changed a lot. I didn't realize my mom was depressed. But, I mean... was it Andrew Vaughn has a joke? He's like, you should just... I really hope I don't misquote this. But
he'll let us know if we did.
It's like, you shouldn't be able to tell your mom's depressed by how many times she rearranges the furniture.
That's funny.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what? It's true, because when you're younger and you see that, you just think... she's just in a bad mood all the time. Like, or totally. she's just a bitch. Like, that's just her personality. But, like, when you get older and then you experience depression,
and then
or
you look back on it with different eyes.
Or you have a kid.
You're like, holy shit, like, I'm depressed now as it is, and I'm not raising 3 kids.
Yeah.
Fuck!
Yeah. And
you know,
a lot of people
like...
think that shifted to a younger generation now. Like, instead of being 30 and depressed, we're now 20 and depressed.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't that fucking insane?
yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I smiling? Like,
Yeah.
like-
Oh, depression. Well, we're all trying, and
Yeah.
I think the important thing is that we're trying our best, and it's a sucky situation here in Halifax, but we gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
But talking about it and like bonding over it
That's
is something.
If you can express your depression, then what's it hanging on to? I don't know.
Yeah. No, for sure. Whew, what an episode! Holy smokeroonies! That got deeper than I thought that it would get. Thank you, Frost, so much. This was fascinating.
Thank you, Purple Clouds.
Purple
clouds.
We're in the sky. And one other thing I want to ask you about really quickly before we go, but you had sent me something about book writing. Are you gonna write a book?
I am writing a book.
You're writing a book? Okay, can you tease out or like let the people know what it's about or?
Yeah. Spiritual ecology. So it's a new field.
Okay.
And it's just all about ecology being the relationship between things, and spiritual meaning the idea that our relationships can actually transform our current surroundings to be more beneficial to life and light and all that.
And how long have you been working on that?
Since November. I went to that workshop Jerry Roberts was hosting, and it was really great, and that was in November, so
Nice.
yeah.
I know of someone else who wants to write a book sitting over here.
Yeah. I'm just yeah, but it's like I'm like really bad. Like I'm a good writer, and I know that about myself, but it's like I'll write like a few paragraphs and I'll like delete it, and it's a constant struggle of like deleting what I write, and I don't know how to get over that hump.
First drafts.
Yeah.
So many drafts.
Do you write just like on paper, or do you write on like on type? Get out.
I'm writing it by hand, actually.
Okay, yeah.
So there's like a quick little method where I'm not going to explain it all right now, but it's basically just feeding the information that you want to put in the book back and forth between your right and left brain. And then you end up with a bunch of like bullet points, and then you just expand on those bullet points.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah, it just comes together.
Oh, that's interesting.
How do you, well, like one thing like I'm fascinated about, because writing a book is no easy feat. I can only fucking imagine. How do you stay motivated to do it? Because, like, that's something that I've been depressed, but, like, I find it hard to stay productive and motivated. What I've been doing lately is the Pomodoro method. Have you heard about this?
No.
So it's like a timer that you set.
Yeah.
You write down your goals for the day or your tasks you have to do. And you set a timer for 25 minutes. And you try to work on one thing at a time for 25 minutes.
Okay.
And when the timer goes off, you can take a 10-minute break.
Okay.
Go do something else. And then you go back to 25. The idea is that as you get better at it and you start checking off little tasks, you'll actually get more motivated to, like, do bigger ones. And it's actually, like, helped me a lot. But, like, something like writing a book where it's, like, it's not like you go to a job and, like, your job is to write a book. So you're there for 8 hours. But it's something that you're doing in your own time. So I'm always, like, curious as to how people work that into the routine of their life. Like writing a book, that's insane.
Yeah. Well, my advice would just be what other people have said that works is just take yourself seriously.
Yeah.
Like, have a desk. Sit down at your desk.
Yeah.
If you want to be a writer, write every day.
Yeah.
And that just, I don't know
Make
who
it,
said that, but it changed.
even if it's just a little bit of time, like
Maybe
10
one
minutes.
sentence.
Yeah, that's actually very true.
That's a good
Yeah.
You, like, almost make it a day, like a routine.
I'm very, like, ritualistic, actually. When it comes to my spiritual life, I am, like, all about rituals, and I don't really have time for anything that doesn't have to do with comedy, writing, or music, so...
Right.
I'm really lucky that I lost my job.
Because it's giving you the space to do this.
Yeah.
It's summertime, we're all, like, uplifted, and the energy's moving,
Yeah.
and feeling good, and, like...
Oh, yeah, thank God for spring.
Really,
Yeah,
It's already making me feel a bit better.
Yeah, me too.
People are out, we're all supporting one another a little
Yeah.
bit more, it's great.
Yeah. Though it's like the seasonal affective disorder is huge.
Yeah.
Like just how we're affected by energy and light, like it's fucking massive.
Yeah. And I could have been out face shooting all winter, but who would want to stop and talk to me in the freezing cold? Like,
Yeah.
no.
But you do get people coming up and like they pay you and they're interested.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, people in Halifax, where can they normally find you downtown if they want to come and see and get a fee? I have a lot of listeners in Halifax, obviously. So,
Yeah.
where can they find you?
Yeah, I really like Pizza Corner.
Ooh.
So you can find me up there on Blower Street on the corner by the church. And once all the madness on the waterfront is over, I will probably be on the boardwalk too. So
Very nice. Amazing.
Do you have like a Facebook page or like something that you can like promote that's like people can contact you?
Not really.
Okay.
At this point, I really don't.
You should get one, but
yeah.
I'll link to your social media, your Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
Link to my Instagram,
Yeah.
Frosted Cups, and also I like to go out Thursday to Sunday.
Okay,
Those are my
perfect.
days.
Thursday to Sunday. Find her downtown Halifax. Normally, I wouldn't say to go stalk my guests, but in this case, go find her and get a reading.
And bring cash.
Bring cash.
Yeah.
$20, which is a decent. Like, I mean,
that's reasonable.
That's a reasonable amount. Yeah.
Yeah, I never turn anybody away too. So. I
That's
know
good.
some people just need a pat on the back, and that's fine with me. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Well, you're helping people.
Yeah.
I like to
Yeah.
think so.
I think so. I mean, like, say what you will about like psychic readings and stuff like that. I do think it is interesting. I think things should be taken with a grain of salt, obviously. But I do think it is a form of hearing things that make you look at yourself differently.
Yeah.
Which I think can help people
Definitely.
a lot. So
Yeah.
we should have a night. Danielle reads tarot, so we should
Yeah.
definitely have a night with
That's
some
fine,
tarot
actually.
card readings. That'd be fun.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
I got a lot of energy moving, so.
Ooh.
It's always good. So.
I'd love to go see a psychic soon, just to be like, what are your thoughts on what a shit show this is right now? Like, I would be legit curious.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes my phone. So that's a sign that we gotta close out this episode. But Frost, in addition to the face reading, do you have any shows coming up or anything you want to plug? Or, like, you're regularly at open mics, so, you know, Mega Comedy Mondays, Beerly's, keep an eye open for her. Is there anything particular coming up you want to plug, comedy-wise?
Well, yeah, I think so.
Ooh.
The Fickle Frog is starting a Monday night comedy night.
Ooh,
Nice.
Monday Night Comedy at Fickle Frog. That's like, me and Danielle go there a lot, so. We used to go on Tuesday nights a lot, so maybe we'll make it Monday nights. Yeah. So you're going to do some shows at Fickle?
Yeah, 8:30.
8:30 Fickle Frog. Damn, perfect. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Make sure to follow Frost on Instagram and go get a reading. And thanks so much, Frost.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, this was lovely.
Lovely.
So nice to get to know you more and find out what you're up to. It's very, very fascinating and commendable. So you get to do the honors to close up the episode with a bell ring. Gotta make it a good one. Woo! Woo! I should put like a lightning bolt on that. There's a lot of energy attached to that. That's great! Yay! We did it! That was fun! And the face reading wasn't bad.
All right.